How's it going again, everyone? This is Red Alien, and today I'm taking a break from some Mario Maker to try to play some other games. And this time we have World of Tanks. So instead of watching Mario die on screen multiple times, you get to watch me die in a tank multiple times. This is a free-to-play game. It has several World War II tanks and countries, and it is essentially there's 10 tiers of tanks, I believe. The first tier is a 6-on-6 death match. It doesn't matter if you're the same country, it just pits players against each other. I believe that the higher tiers are 12-on-12, but basically you level up your tanks by researching and buying gear, and you play battles to train your crew, and I guess you could consider it a Call of Duty with tanks or something along those lines. Anyway, let's play a couple of battles. The only issue that I really have with it is occasionally you have some downtime waiting. All these nice stats here. Basically, if you're interested in learning more, there's several Google sites and stuff to look up for it. Firepower is self-explanatory. It's how much damage you do. Survivability is tied to armor, mobility, conceal and spotting. And it tells you your tank's top speed and stuff. It's actually based on actual World War II models, as close as they can get it. I have recently started playing this game again and have started playing with some of the German tanks and Russia, so we're going to start a couple of battles with those. And some of the deals about the way various mechanics work in this game is you can shoot various tank parts to knock them out and hinder the driver, to hinder their visibility, or just flat out stop them from moving. Death in this game, your tank blows up and then you cannot use that tank again until the battle ends, but you can leave the battle and load up another tank to play another battle while you're waiting. That's what the multiple slots at the bottom of the garage was for. You do not have to stick with one country. You can play with any of the tanks from any of the countries, but you have to start at the bottom with each one and work your way up to tier 10. You have several different types of tanks. You have your light tanks, which is basically your scouting and just quick assassination tanks. Your medium tanks, which are slightly heavier in armor and basically you're rounded. Usually they're meant to take more hits than lights. And then your heavy tanks, which is in the later tiers, and it's loaded up a game. But the heavy tanks are meant to be your frontline, basically your brute force. They can take the most damage. And hopefully my sound's not a little too loud. On the map down there in the lower right, the green is my base, the red is the opposing base, and red markers on the map means the enemy.
Move out!
And here we go. See, someone's already spotted them on the map. So we don't want to stay out in the open, that's a good way to get killed. Rushing is also a good way to get killed, but I'm not seeing a target over here. Most all of them are showing up on my map now. Probably need something.
We've repaired the engine, but we can't go very fast.
Yep, he
Bail
got
out.
me.
This vehicle has had
But
it.
he was down at 25%, so I almost had him. That was a medium versus my light German tank. And my team's about half gone, so this battle's not going to take very long. So I'll go back to the garage and pick another tank. That will likely end in a mess. So what I'm going to do is, that's my other German tank. He's got more of a machine gun type turret, so we'll have to play a little differently with it. That battle will probably be over before this loads. You can click down here in the lower right and see updates. That's just some of the stuff I played earlier. Yep, that battle ended pretty quick. Let's see. So the other two types of tanks I didn't get to cover earlier. Tank destroyers are meant to be snipers with high front armor. They have higher firepower than most tanks of their same tier. They're just meant as tank busters, but if you get around their sides or back, they're pretty much done for. And then your SPGs, those are basically your artillery in the game. Once the light tanks scout, then they're meant to just drop their firepower and bombs on the targets and try to help out the battlefield. So hopefully this game will go a little better. I usually have less luck in this tank than the last one I've been playing with, but considering I've only played this a couple hours recently, that's just me needing to practice. And I believe this is a tier 1 match.
Move out.
So I took my guys off, that's okay. I believe the tank chat in this game is, it started with Germany, Russia, and the US, and later they added Britain, France, Japan. I think they just added Sweden. I haven't done a lot of research on those other countries yet, so I can't really tell you a whole lot of difference on those things. See if I can get a shot. Nope. Can't see through the rock, so I'm gonna keep going. You can hide in the brush, but I'm not really trained to do that yet. You skill up in various things if you play fights. No, for those big everybody's around the other side of the map. they got more tanks in our base, so they captured it faster than me, but I had no chance of catching back up to them anyway. I'm not going to take about 6 or 7 tanks by myself. But I got a little bit of money for that. Didn't get a whole lot of anything else. Thought I might get metal for my base points, but apparently not. So let's see if I can get in one more quick match. So I'm training different skills on my tank crew over here. Got a gunner, a driver, and then that's the commander that helps you spot stuff. Some tanks have 2 crew members, some of them have 3. I think the bigger tanks have 4 or more, but I haven't played that far. I've played up to about tier 5, maybe tier 6 before. But that was quite a long time ago, and they've updated quite a bit of things in this game since then. Back to my waiting game. If you like shooters or just general, fairly accurate tank combat simulation, this is actually a fairly decent game to at least spend time in the lower tiers messing around with. Great thing is it's free to play, so it doesn't cost you anything to play around with it. And I'm currently using the standard definition client. They have a HD client as well that might look a little nicer. It's available on consoles also. This is the PC one. I started with the PC, so I just decided to keep with it because I'm more used to the controls of it. So now we got a winter map. And then the up top or left and right also shows the different sizes of tanks and stuff that your teams are using. Once you play the game a few rounds, you're more familiar with what the abbreviations mean.
Let's get this show on the road.
See if I get a decent high place up here. Tier 1 is only about 7 on each side. Try to climb right here and not become a target. There's somebody out there. Can't shoot them from here. They tank will outline in red if I can hit anything on them. Somebody behind me. Getting stuck here. See him? No, I can't. Already taken out half my squad. I might as well suicide myself.
Our engine is not down. Ammo storage is in dead core. Everyone get out.
So you see, these rounds aren't going so well for me. Half my team was already gone at that point, though. I'd like at least one win in this video. Might happen, it might not. I don't even particularly have to survive to have the win, I just particularly like to have a win. When starting out with these, you'll end up with a lot of games that end just like this. Some of the other tanks, such as Russia, may have a slightly easier start just because their tier 1 has a little better firepower. But it still comes down to there's not a whole lot of survivability in the starting tanks. I think I'll be goofy and try to go through the water that time. It's usually not the greatest idea, but what I tried last time didn't work out too well either. That's what I don't like about those machine gun turrets. Some people can be really mean with them, but they take quite a bit of practice. may stick around and see how this one plays out. It's 5 of us and 4 of them left. Okay, they're all just camping back there. I didn't know they could do that, but now they can. He's not gonna last very long. Okay, we're starting to flank them now. He's sitting on the base, trying to capture it. Might capture it. Yeah, he'll take that artillery out. That's what the square means, it's artillery. He's getting hit from the side by somebody. There's only one of them left. But I don't see where he's hiding. There he is. If I just wait and set up for him. Nope, he's gonna die. Well, this game's gonna take a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and exit because we're down to a light and artillery on our side versus a light one that's just camping at the back. So we'll try one more. Yeah, I already knew I lost that last match. So let's try one more with the Lek Tractor, I think is the name of it. Some people call it the LOL Tractor. Spending almost as much time in the queue as I'm spending shooting at things. It happens sometimes. Apparently late at night there's a lot more activity on this game. Because earlier it was only saying about, I think, 12,000 players on. Now it's saying 18,000 total in the upper left. And we're still waiting. games with queues like this can work on teaching the players patience and a good reason not to get killed, because then you go right back to waiting in it. See what else is telling me down here. I think it's what I already know. Yep, nothing new there. And here we go. I'm not a big fan of some of these in-town maps. Maybe if I had a higher tiered tank, but not when first starting out. I prefer more open cover that you can hide in. But I'm still trying to get the hang on the driving controls again.
Move out.
Scrolling in. Not exactly sure why. Now it is.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
He apparently got a better firing angle than I did. I think I'm going to call it this time, guys. And I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you enjoyed more World of Tanks, then feel free to leave me a message and I'll make some more of these episodes. If not, then I'll find something else on my Mario Maker breaks. Thanks for watching and tune in next time.